Listen, my wife's cousin will pay the consequences. And why are we calling on the Attorney General to investigate something that the FBI fully investigated? My wife's cousin was accused of child pornography. It's bad in itself, but let's get the facts straight. There's no need for a state investigation. The Board of Education attorney said my wife followed the proper protocol.
I like LaQuetta Small. I've been a LaQuetta Small supporter.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to turn that down because it could become problematic. Bring that down a little bit. How you doing, everybody? It's AC Prime Time. The character, not White Bread, the very popular White Bread Report. This is the newspaper guy. He comes out whenever he has an opportunity to kick mainstream media in the nuts. You got to kick them while they're down. When they go high, we go low. Hey, it's ACprimetime.com. Please get on the email newsletter list. You won't be sorry. It's September 25, 2021. And did you see the breaking news from Breaking AC? I mean, they're always breaking news, so it's, is it really breaking news? Yeah, this is pretty big. A lot of scoops there from Linda Cohen and breakingac.com. It's got to be so irritating for the press of Atlantic City to see how a person they let go, a beat called crime, pretty popular here in the Atlantic City area. They let their ace reporter, nobody's better, Linda Cohen and Breaking AC. Press of Atlantic City has to be saying, holy mackerel, Breaking AC stole hundreds of thousands of eyeballs. Breaks news. Everybody trusts her. She gets these news stories, and she does stuff that I hope more journalists do. And you don't have to go to school for journalism. You don't. No, you do not. You got to tell stories. You got to take your camera out and point it in Marty Small's face. Or when you see Barry Caldwell, superintendent of Atlantic City Schools, ask him a question. Say, hey, Barry, how are you? What you going to do with that extra money? That extra 12% raise we just gave you? Oh, a boat? Not nice. Maybe a few new suits. Oh, cosmetic surgery. Maybe. Disguise yourself because you're so embarrassed about padding your pension. Anyway, so Breaking AC, the new story here. If you don't mind, I'm going to lower or reduce the size of my face, if you don't mind. I know it's, just relax. Going the wrong way. Wait a second. All right, we'll move this around. I got some fresh new software here. There we go. You like that? I know you're jealous. Atlantic City superintendent search quietly begins again from Breaking AC. Just came out today. And look who that is. It's our favorite solicitor, Tracy Riley, the solicitor for the Atlantic City School Board. No, she's not. There's no conflict of interest. Not even anything. Nope. Nothing. No conflict of interest. Nothing. Don Guardian told me that. Some guy I know, Tom River, he told me something about the conflict of interest. I don't believe him. Anyway, getting off track here. So, yeah. The Steele Shea, the president of the Atlantic City School Board, Tracy Riley, all these Marty Smalls involved, LaQuetta's involved. They're moving forward with interviewing for the superintendent position. They don't tell anybody, especially at the school board. But Linda Cohen is on the case. I didn't even know this was happening, but Linda is wired that way. She's like a bloodhound. And the way Linda Cohen of Breaking AC is smartly going after this lovely lady, bringing up this big crate of something. That's Tracy Riley going up the steps, trying to get a big crate of bullshit up the steps. There's a lot of bullshit there. You need, carrying tools and essential, things on wheels, like suitcases, a chest with wheels that you go up steps. Because when you're Tracy Riley, you're carrying around a lot of bullshit. I'm not kidding. We love you, Tracy. Anyway, look at this video. Look who is coming in for secret interviews. Secret interviews. Quiet over at the the rowing house, the boat place, the boathouse. Stupid. Check this out. You're gonna like this. Here we go. Hey, you know who that is? You know who is sneaking in? That's my all-time favorite person. My number two most favorite Black Lives Matter activist, Joyce Molyneux. And congratulations, Joyce. I love her. Joyce is going in because she's on the selection committee. She's well qualified. Well qualified. Black Lives Matter activist, and most recently, a new member of the Casino Control Commission. Excellent choice. Joyce Molyneux, sneaking into the boathouse, looking to see who wants to be the next superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. It's an excellent choice, Joyce. Let me turn off this thing. Gets in the way sometimes. Here we go. You all set? Hey, look who it is. She always looks awesome. Hey, shorty. Laquetta Small. Atlantic City High School principal, Laquetta Small. That's the wife of Marty Small. All right? You understand that, right? This is Laquetta Small going in to be interviewed to become the next superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. Doesn't really matter that only 25% of her students can pass a basic math or English test. That doesn't matter. Her kids give it all they got. Don't put any pressure on Laquetta. That's Marty's wife. I got an interview thing. Remember Marty?
Listen, my wife's cousin will pay the consequences. And why are we calling on the Attorney General to investigate something that the FBI fully investigated? My wife's cousin was accused of child pornography. It's bad in itself, but let's get the facts straight. There's no need for a state investigation. The Board of Education attorney said my wife followed the proper protocol.
Who said your wife followed the proper protocol? That would be Tracy Riley. Right, Don? It's Don Guardian, everybody. Hey, Don, thanks for controlling some of the moderation tonight. Don Guardian, he's up for election. I think he's currently, Don, you're still litigating in Tom's River? Somebody called you fancy pants or something? Tracy's your attorney? It's good. Just take the calls, Don. Don's needs a few extra bucks. Son of a bitch. But that's Laquetta Small going in. Thank God. This is what has to happen to take back your city. You have to use these tools like smartphones to record this stuff. You have no idea if you're an Atlantic City parent and you send your kids to Atlantic City schools or the high school. God bless you. I'm telling you, you don't know. You have no idea. This is all about money and contracts. They're not even telling you about curriculum. Laquetta Small would be the worst choice of all time. Remember her cousin, Kion Frazier, currently in jail now. Poor child abuser. Yeah. Lived with Marty for a little bit in Laquetta. Having kids sleepovers. Bouncing around in different schools within the Atlantic City School District. Laquetta Small and Marty Small's cousin, Kion. And I'm never going to stop talking about this, even though a lot of other people have forgotten about it, it seems. But to actually be a parent of an Atlantic City school student, and you know this is you're about to hire as the superintendent somebody that didn't tell the proper authorities. That's the suggestion that she should have called the cops. She should have told the school board, all of them. I don't know. Just read the documents. I can't keep up all that crap. Then he finally, Cayenne Frazier, after he bounced around to a lot of the Atlantic City schools, elementary schools, LaQuetta knew what was going on, but kind of, whatever. He loses his gig. She finally gets him out of there. And then a couple of months later, gets hired by New Jersey Child Protective Services. And that's why Marty is so freaked out in that audio clip, saying, you don't need a state investigation. No one has answered the question. Who signed off on Cayenne Frazier getting that gig in New Jersey with kids after he already had a obvious child abuse predator track record working in the elementary schools? Unbelievable. Ventnor sends 191 kids to Atlantic City High School. $4 million they paid to have the potential of LaQuetta guiding them. I'm telling you, everybody, I don't care. I have no kids in school. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. Holy crap. LaQuetta's bad news. I can't believe she's even in this video. Thank God for breaking AC, because all other media, pussies. There's Tracy right there. No conflict of interest, Tracy. She's so connected to everybody. Just follow Breaking AC. Don't listen to me. I don't know squat. I'm just like you. I follow Breaking AC. On occasion, I'll do something that's historic, Emmy Award winning, Pulitzer Prize winning. That's how I roll. That's Tracy taking a big container on wheels, like a suitcase thing, big container full of shit that she's going to spew and share with everybody within those doors. I love Tracy. Is she wearing a mask? Can somebody get on? Hey, Don, can you see if Tracy's masked up properly? Okay, thanks. And I want you to ask her, I want her to show her where's your papers? Show me your papers. Jimmy Whitehead. Jimmy Whitehead said he was going to create a COVID-free zone in one of the schools. I'm not sure what that looks like. I think Jimmy might be working on it now. I don't know. You know how Jimmy Whitehead is. We love Jimmy. He's a Navy man. He got caught in one too many. I don't know. Did he get seasick? No. He's a man. He's a man's man. Jimmy. I like James Whitehead.
Riley, can you say what this meeting is? It's in a public place, Mrs. Riley. That makes it look suspicious. That makes it look really suspicious.
Yeah, she's the coordinator.
Oh, she's coordinating everybody who comes in and interviews?
She's not asking any question.
Okay.
She's just coordinator.
Okay.
Oh, she's only a coordinator. Okay, gotcha. She's only a coordinator, so back off. Oh, just a coordinator. Holy shit. It's interesting. So big props to Linda Cohen at Breaking AC. The local newspapers won't do that. Most people who have radio shows stay away from this big time. They're afraid. And they are not as psychotic as I am. There's people watching this right now saying, yeah, this motherfucker's fucking crazy. Yes, I've been scarred by all the media. Really. Do you listen to all the kind of crazy whatever? But let's focus local. And we were talking about Joyce Molyneux. Have I told you how much I love her? Hold on.
We're going to show you.
There we go. I love Steve Young, too. I try to be an equal whatever. Let me see what we got here.
So we go.
Yeah, let me bring this up. If you notice, let me let's see.
What our leaders gonna do?
And we're going.
You see them standing around when we was on the ground. Did you see them on the ground?
What we're going to do? We're going to do some window shopping today.
If you see right here, let me turn my little yellow thing on. Pointer. Let me get my pointer on home. Here we go. You see this? That's Joyce Molyneux. She's participating in the selection process of the next superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. So just doing a little background check, letting everybody know she is qualified in a major way. I do like Joyce. I always talk with her when I would bump into her. She probably looks at me. I'm like 3 times her size. She probably looks at me and say, who the? But Joyce does look good. That's Joyce right here. She looks good in black and red. Might be her color. Bandana, big, beautiful Jackie Onassis glasses, Black Lives Matter t-shirt. Joyce Molyneux. She's going to help select the next superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. Of course, Joyce still is a big supporter of Barry Caldwell, the current superintendent. Yeah, he's a part of that lawsuit. He's a defendant in the child sex abuse student thing. Yeah. Go to Breaking AC to bring you up to speed on that. At the same time, after he's already announced his retirement, Mr. Barry Caldwell, because he was so damn good at his job, he was just superb. He got a 12% raise. Well, yeah, wouldn't you want to pad your pension? If you try to get your kids out of Atlantic City Schools, just do that. Steve Young, if you really want to help the local community, focus on schools and crime, not encouraging people to do a little window shopping to destroy an economy and having people lose their jobs. Millions and millions of dollars of damage in last summer's Atlantic City riots. I am here to let everybody know that all the weak, wimpy, soft media pundits that said it was a bunch of peaceful protests, I tend to disagree because I was there. I was there here while Steve was doing this. It was okay for 20 minutes right there in the front of the police department too. But once he started to discuss, putting people like me out of my misery, I go, I think I've had enough. I love Steve, but I'm deathly afraid of him. Sometimes Joyce Molyneux, Black Lives Matter activist, helping to select the new superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. And Joyce, once again, congratulations to Joyce Molyneux. She is a member of the Casino Control Commission. I was so fucking surprised, but she's well qualified. She's put in the time. That's right. Damn straight. Right, Brother Steve?
Window shopping is when you look in the window, see what you like, and you come back another day to get it. You come back another day to get it. Understand that. We're not saying nothing about violence. We're not saying destroy anything. We're just going to do some window shopping today. Is that all right with everybody?
Yes.
Is that all right with everybody?
I love Steve. I'm deathly afraid of him, but I love him. Steve, that was incitement to violence. You aren't going to do it, but you knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew. In Philadelphia, they knew. They all know. But Steve got a lot of press out of this. He did. It was the opening act. It was a prelude to what might become his most historic achievement, and that is the leader, being the leader of the infamous Expressway 7. Damn straight, motherfucker. All super fly and super spreading as he's shutting down Atlantic City Expressway. Taking away his First Amendment rights. Blocking streets. But I love Steve. I told you what my on my bucket list, I want to be stuck in an elevator with Steve Young, Seth Grossman, At least those guys. Okay. All right. Let me go back. Did I tell you how awesome breaking AC is? Let me just read you a little bit. Maybe Marty Small. He doesn't do a lot of reading, so I'll read it to you, Marty. Turn this up. The search for the new superintendent for the Atlantic City School District has started, but even some board members didn't seem to know candidates were being interviewed. Oh, it's in the quiet, very quiet. Some board members didn't know candidates were being interviewed. Fucking Atlantic City. Jeez. A meeting was quietly held at the Atlantic City High School boathouse last Thursday, or this past Thursday night. Breaking AC watched as several people went inside after a security guard first checked to make sure their names were on the list. Did they check for vaccination status? That is unknown. I want to see your papers. Super fly, super spreader. I want to see your papers. Okay, so, oh, good. We're going to read something about Tracy Riley now. Tracy Riley, the Board of Education solicitor, also working with Don Guardian, first openly gay mayor of Atlantic City. They're working together in some other part of this weird universe called Atlantic City, where AC Mike is everywhere, but he still sucks at pickleball. And until he remedies that issue, we're never going to mention AC Mike, even if it is fucking approved. Okay. Okay. So where was I? Tracy Riley, the Board of Education solicitor, coordinated the interviews. According to Kazli Islam, one of the 3 board members on the 6-member search committee, and that was put together in a very fair and impartial way. She's not asking any questions, says Islam, who left the meeting early. She's just a coordinator. No, maybe she's just helping to move, bring in boxes of shit that can be shared. Riley has been a catalyst throughout the search, says breakingac.com, including helping stop the first search, deciding not to have a vendor coordinate the search, and allowing the board president, Shay Steele. Don't trust Shay Steele. He's bad news. But of course, if getting your child properly educated and keeping them safe for those many years, if that's not important to you, so you might fast forward this video clip. I don't want to. Let's get back to this. Breaking AC. She's just a coordinator. But yet, once again, it mentions many are conflicted from participating in the search. Handpick, say Shay Steele, they're all conflicted, but they're following the interpretation of the rules or of law or statutes. They're following the guidance of Solicitor Tracy Riley, who is conflicted. She's very conflicted. Not a little bit, but a lot. That's what they say. I don't know shit. I just read breakingac.com. I know nothing. Yeah. Like my newspaper face. Newspaper used to be good, but what the fuck? Okay, so we go back to the story here on Breaking AC. Tracy Riley, has refused to answer any questions about the moves. On Thursday night, she again ignored Breaking AC reporter who asked her what the meeting that went from 5 to 9 p.m. was about. Riley, who had come outside for a second time to retrieve files from her vehicle, that's the blue plastic box of shit that she was trying to schlep up the steps. I just want to make sure you don't lose track of the story here. Where the hell am I? Riley, who had come in outside for a second time to retrieve files from her vehicle, walked back into the building where a worker closed the door that had been open the entire time. The worker came back and locked it. Locked it. Why lock it? Later, when Islam left the meeting, he confirmed that it was the search committee conducting interviews. When asked why Riley was there, he said she was on the committee. But when pressed about her being on the committee, he said she coordinated who came in and when. The newest advertisement for candidates had all applications going to Riley directly. Parents of Atlantic City students. The most critical part of your kids having a shot at a good life is right now with the school. And you know what's really going on. But it's, what is it, the snitches? The snitches get stitches? You can't tell on anybody? Eventually enough parents will either pull their kids out of schools or they'll just realize that you're on the verge of hiring LaQuetta Small, who's embroiled in that Cayenne Frazier thing. How did a child predator roam for so long? Even after he was caught in the school district, he gets hired by the state, Child Protective Services. How did that problem happen? Marty, do you know? I'm not laughing.
Listen, my wife's cousin will pay the consequences. And why are we calling on the Attorney General to investigate something that the FBI fully investigated? My wife's cousin was accused of child pornography. It's bad in itself, but let's get the facts straight. There's no need for a state investigation. The Board of Education attorney said my wife followed the proper protocol.
Oh, you mean Tracy Riley? The lovely lady with the schlepping the box of shit? That's the one. Marty, I do apologize.
If you understood our culture, you would know what dirty money means.
I like LaQuetta Small. I've been a LaQuetta Small supporter.
I had a baseball bat and a sprained ankle, and at the time, my fiance, now my wife, was living in Mays Landing Village, and we was having a discussion, and then the property manager came out there, and lo and behold, when I opened the trunk, the bat fell out, and then they tried to make her say that I hit her. You know what goes on in certain areas in Atlantic County. Don't play stupid.
I love that. Atlantic County. What's going on out there? Denny Levinson, get him on the phone. Have him identify any parts of Atlantic County that are racist. Marty, you call Denny. You two put your heads together. Figure this out. Yeah. Everything's playing the race card when he gets caught or allegedly beating somebody up with a crutch. That never happened. Never. Okay, so in the newest advertisement for that job of superintendent, candidates had all the applications went directly to Riley. In the past, the board, the Atlantic City School Board, had a vendor guide to search that way. The original search started last year. Committee whittled down the candidates to 3, including 2 in-district employees, says board member John Devlin. They stole that election from him totally. Yeah, Ventnor, the Ventnor rep. Turncoat. Ventnor rep. I don't know how Marty got Ventnor to vote his way. Ventnor pays $4 million for the privilege of hosting itself and its kids in Atlantic City High School. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Can't believe that happened, but it did. Ventnor voted against the independent investigation. Ventnor voted for the 12% raise to Barry Caldwell to pad his pension. It was the very first night of the rep, his very first appearance on the school board. Yes, I've done a lot of research on this. I can see clearly, even though he's a defendant in a sex abuse case for the kids and all that, I vote yes for a 12% raise to pad the pension of Barry Caldwell. Way to go, Ventnor. Unbelievable. Un-effing believable. John Devlin's mentioned here. The search abruptly ended with no real explanation until a meeting during which Shay Steele, the guy that stole the seat from John Devlin. Okay, you got that? Shay is unqualified. He's a nasty man. He's a part of the Marty Small crew. That's right. Shay has no interest in digging deeper to see how a child predator roamed Atlantic City School District. Like, say, in the real world, if there's a predator roaming and you found out it was going on forever and people knew about it, if you were the school superintendent or the school board president, You'd be gone. You'd be out if you were on duty during this kind of stuff. But at Atlantic City, it's different. It's a special place. It's a magical place where your sins are forgiven no matter how horrible they are. LaQuetta Small being interviewed. Once again, I'm so happy I have no kids in Atlantic City schools. I'm just giving you a fair warning. But something tells me you're not going to care. You're not going to care. Your kids could go to ACIT, the Votech school, but you don't think the guy that runs the joint, Phil Gunther, and his good friend, Ernest Corsi, do you think they're going to help you out? How many kids from Atlantic City go to ACIT? How many kids? Keep that on the down low. I want you to spend $28,000 per kid to send them to Atlantic City High School. Not sure if they're going to invest in Kevlar vests for the students. Yeah. 25% of kids in Atlantic City High School, where the principal is LaQuetta Small, lovely wife of Mayor Marty Small. Only 25% of kids in Atlantic City High School can pass a basic math or English test. You never hear anybody talking about that. But you do hear about LaQuetta maybe running everything. Get your kids out of there. Just homeschool them. Riley claims that Hossein, one of the council members, had a conflict of interest. You know what? It takes one to know one. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's what people are saying. I'm the solicitor for the board of Atlantic City Board of Education. Riley wrote in an email sent to Tyner on August 21, 2020. He was the Atlantic County prosecutor. The superintendent, Barry Caldwell, recently brought a matter of concern to my attention and has requested that this matter be referred to your office. Yeah, Riley continues to go after Hossein, alleging a conflict of interest or something, where Tracy is the queen in this department. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying most of Atlantic City is talking that way quietly. Yeah, they're sneaking this interview process through everybody. The obstacles that slowed choosing the next superintendent led the board to extending retiring Superintendent Barry Caldwell's contract because he was doing such a fine job. It's a violent school district. There are great teachers within the school district, but they're surrounded by violence and an environment that's not focused on getting their grades up or becoming future ladies and gentlemen. Even if they find that they have a security breach, child predators, you got to see how LaQuetta handled it. That's the best way of determining whether or not she is a good candidate to become the next superintendent of Atlantic City Schools. Look at that big, giant example of her dropping the ball. Her job is to protect your kids. That's number one, protect your kids for like 8 hours. And then a close second is to teach your kids. So far, based on my calculations, let me just I want to be honest. The calculation, 125 over 75. Yep, it's true. LaQuetta Small fails, and only 25% of her students can pass a basic math or English test. And there's a potential that your kids are at risk because LaQuetta and Barry Caldwell never really thought it was that important to, first off, identify and figure out how a predator roamed for so long. That's the cousin of the Smalls, who's currently in jail. But LaQuetta and Barry didn't think it's a good idea to inform most of the school board. And Barry and LaQuetta didn't think it was a good idea to figure out a way of making sure it never happens again and then communicating that to the residents of Atlantic City, especially the parents of kids in Atlantic City. They never did that. and nobody called him on it. Nobody called him on it. And what do you think? Do you look the other way?
I like Laquetta Small. I've been a Laquetta Small supporter.
Holy crap. You know who that is, right? How can somebody say that with a straight face?
I like Laquetta Small. I've been a Laquetta Small supporter.
There you go. Yeah, go to breakingac.com. They're all connected. There's all these great videos from Linda Cohen and breakingac.com. All right, I'm tired. Oh, I have a chat button here. Oh, I apologize, everybody. I didn't know that chat was going on, but I can pull this in. And because my favorite all-time Navy man, Jimmy Whitehead, is in the house. He says, Linda Cohen is a wonderfully fair and balanced reporter. She provides an invaluable transparency service for the people of Atlantic City. We love Jimmy. We even like him when he goes way off into the weeds. He's a good man. And I'm very interested in the laser space beam that will create a COVID-free environment in this new COVID economy. That is true, though. Jimmy's on the forefront. Jimmy's still waiting to get those pictures. He took some beautiful photographs of himself and Dr. Ben Carson a few weeks back. Come on, Jimmy. Cough him up. All right. Yes, we love her. Okay, there's more Jimmy stuff here too, isn't it? This is a horribly sad how Atlantic City School Board superintendent selection process is not transparent. Atlantic City parents, please wait. Atlantic City parents, please stay woke. No, don't be woke. You mean awake. Woke is not a good thing. You don't want to be woke because, Jimmy, as you say, everything woke turns to shit. Everything woke eventually turns to shit. That is a fact, period. It's the culture, as Mr. Mayor Marty Small said. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you don't fix this problem right, if you don't nip this in the bud, it's nobody's fault but your own. I know. Let's see. LaToya Dunstan in the house, I think. Jimmy Whitehead is, what's he doing? Mo Delgado. A cool Mo D. Mo, we love you. You know that. I hope you're not angry at us, but I'm pretty sure you are. You got to go. You got to call out the really bad stuff, and we're all afraid to do that. We're all afraid to do that. But Mo was the best dressed candidate at that town hall meeting that Linda and Breaking AC did a week or two ago. Mo was the best dressed, nice blue pastel. He was the most fire breathing, passionate. I don't know what the hell he was talking about, but he looked good saying it. Yes, he foamed at the mouth a few moments, but he got over that. Cool Mo D. I do like Mo. I want him to, take off the gloves. Mo. Let me see. I'm sorry. Jimmy Whitehead. Yeah, right here's let me look at this. I like what you do, White Bread. I know. I got to come up with new characters. So the White Bread thing was, I wanted to do something that was kind of like Archie Bunker, George Jefferson, two bigoted guys, different ethnicities. And it's funny to see these racist people making fun of each other or hating each other. That's what needs to happen again. So I figured, let me say, I want to be an avatar of some sort. I got to be some kind of a character, a larger than life situation, larger than life superhero digitally. Some kind of avatar, maybe. It's like, okay, what can I look like? What's my character? I thought I got to look real Caucasian. I got to look really white and pasty, paunchy. The Harry Hurley icon, that was already taken. But the White Bread thing was like a perfect match. Stupid. And this is the situation where I'm the newspaper guy, because I was in newspaper for a long time. Oh, yeah. They have this. I'm a newspaper journalist. Look, see, I went to school for it. You know you can trust me. Don't trust them. Don't even trust me. But you can trust Jimmy Whitehead. If you're interested in some type of COVID-free zone, he can come out, flatbed it over to you right away. That's Jimmy Whitehead, personal friend of Dr. Ben Carson. I love you, Jimmy, because you're a Navy man. And you're a good guy. Jamie, boy, you're commenting all over the place here. Jimmy Whitehead, I don't think everybody should be fired. I just think they got to be more transparent. But isn't that crazy that they're having these meetings? Holy. The Cayenne Frazier thing, and then jumping over to the state, working with the state with kids, that's a deal breaker. That's it. You're done. You're done. You're not going to move ahead. But this is Atlantic City, I forgot. Just Marty handed out $3,500 checks, gave himself a raise for $40,000. No, you're not going to get a maternity ward, but with the help of Vince Mazzeo, it's going to be a lot easier to abort your child. As ugly as that sounds, it's true. But yeah, got to give out props to Breaking AC. This is huge. And that's what all journalists need to do. They got to document and record this stuff. And believe me, Atlantic City, it has some crazy stuff. But towns like Brigantine, all towns have issues. But if there's no if there's no watchdog of some sort, and newspapers used to be that watchdog. And I have zero interest in investigating crap like this. But Linda does it and does it really well. I like just to focus on the big stuff that rises and bubbles to the top, like the really ugly stuff. And part of that is the abuse of the elderly and the abuse of kids. The elderly, like for some reason, all the nursing home people that died because a certain governor said, nope, you have to take the C-19 people back in. Holy crap. And then, of course, Cayenne Frazier. That was ugly. It was ugly. All right. I've been on too long. But that's the deal. And I'm working on some new software here. You kind of like it, huh? Not bad, huh? But I like Steve Young. But man, geez. It was pretty dangerous there that day. And this guy right here, he's the protege of Steve Young, because this young man is always with Steve Young. And a student, I don't know, but seems like a good kid. He's going to surpass Steve Young. He's going to do more than just block the expressway. Albany Avenue. Scare the shit out of people like me. It's a little window shopping. And once again, congratulations to Joyce Molyneux. I love Joyce Molyneux. I really do. She's very nice, but she scares me sometimes. Casino Control Commission. Well-deserved. I pray for her that she makes good decisions. I'm not quite sure what she does, but whatever. She looks good in a Black Lives Matter t-shirt, red bandana, Jackie Onassis glasses. Joyce Molyneux, everybody. And Joyce is a big supporter of Mayor Marty Small. She's a big supporter of the 12% raise for Barry Caldwell. Come on, guys. Can you not be so greedy? Just jobs, taking money. LaQuetta has a nice, comfortable job right now. Superintendent of schools. Wow. You're actually considering her. Tracy Riley, you're considering her. No one's saying nothing. Parents, keep your kids out of Atlantic City High School and the educational system. Thank you. AC Primetime. AC Primetime.